Hi, it's Kate from Grow Your Enjoy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a barbecue chicken pizza that I'm making in an effort to use up some of the things in my pantry and fridge. I am going to use up some, actually for this recipe I had almost everything on hand. The only thing I had to buy was the red onion and the cilantro, and I probably could have gone without it. So tonight I'm making barbecue chicken pizza. I'll show you what this recipe will help me to use up. I am making a few modifications to recipes just to get things used up here and make use of what we have. So here's my King Arthur gluten-free pizza crust recipe. I will be substituting a little bit of this King Arthur. I'm using the measure flour, but I have just a little bit of this almond flour left over, so I'm going to use this little bit of almond flour mixed in with the gluten-free flour, and I hope it turns out okay. Today at the grocery store I bought a red onion and cilantro to make this recipe possible. I have these pepperoncinis that will go on the pizza. I'm going to use this 99-cent, here it is, 99 cents. These were in the freezer. These will be the chicken part of the barbecue chicken pizza. This was in my fridge. This barbecue sauce, there's just a little bit left, and I will mix it with some of this golden barbecue sauce that I got for $3.25-ish on clearance from Shaw's. So I'll get some of that used up. I also have some mozzarella cheese left over from cooking for Christmas. So I will use some of that on the pizza, and then a little bit of this big block of cheddar cheese that I have. So I'll get started on making the pizza crust because it needs to rise for a little while. I'm going to double this because I'm going somewhere this weekend and I might need a gluten-free option. So if I double it, then I will have some pizza left over for that. So I have half a cup of almond flour, and then I need 3 cups of flour for this recipe, so I'll do 2.5 cups of the all-purpose King Arthur cup for cup or measure for measure flour. So 2.5 cups. So here's the other half a cup. And then 1, 2. So that's 3 cups of flour all together. Now I need a teaspoon of baking powder, so that will be 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt would be a teaspoon and a half. So 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. Not going to put in the xanthan gum because I used the cup for cup flour, which already has it in it. And I need, it's supposed to be buttermilk powder, but I use whey protein powder, unflavored. And it's going to be 4 tablespoons of whey protein powder, isolate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to mix this all together, and then I will get my wet mixture going. In this measuring cup, I have 2 cups of warm water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil per batch. So that's 4 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm doing that before the honey so that the honey will slide off of the spoon. It's a tablespoon of honey or sugar per batch. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of honey. 1, 2 cups of warm water, 2 tablespoons of honey, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I need to stir that up. Then I'm going to add some of my dry mixture into this and some yeast. And then it will sit in proof for, it kind of depends on how warm your house is, but usually I set it aside for like 30 minutes. So I'm going to put 1 cup. It's supposed to be half a cup per recipe, so roughly 1 cup of my flour mixture in. And then it's a tablespoon of yeast, 1.5 teaspoons per batch. So I'm using this instant dry yeast. I get the pound package from like Amazon or a bulk supplier, and then I just keep it in my fridge. Some people put it in their freezer, but I have had no problem keeping it in my fridge in the very back I mean, honestly, the one I just used up was from 2016, so it keeps a really long time, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I'm just going to mix this all up, and then I'll put it aside for about 30 minutes so it can rise. Or, so the yeast can activate. So here is the mixture, nice and bubbly. I'm going to stir it in to the rest of the dry ingredients and then let it rise. It'll rise for 15 to 30 minutes, however long it takes. My house is pretty cold, so I'm guessing it's going to be closer to 30 minutes. All right, so I just dropped my microphone and my light into the dough, so that's not good. Hopefully everything is okay. I tried to clean it up the best I can. This is why I can't have nice things. So I'm going to mix this up and let it rise for about 30 minutes. right, so here's the barbecue sauce. The second bottle of barbecue sauce that I opened to use up is actually a paleo barbecue sauce. It does not have any sugar in it, but I like a sweeter barbecue sauce on my pizza, so I added a little bit of brown sugar. There's the mozzarella and cheddar cheese, some pepperoncinis, chicken, red onion, cilantro. I think normally people put bacon on this pizza, but I don't have any, so we're just going to go without. And when my crusts are baked up, I will show you me topping it. Actually, I decided that I'll show you just because I do have so many new people here. But I am going to speed this up for you so that you're not watching for such a long time. So, spreading the oil on the pan. I just get oil in my hand, and that way I can just spread the oil onto both pizza pans. It's just some olive oil. I've used all kinds of oil. One thing I just don't like using is the spray. I just feel like it doesn't do as good of a job as me making sure it gets into all the corners. So the oil's on the pan. Going to get myself a little dish of water, and I will show you how I do this. There it is, all spread out. The consistency is a little bit different with the almond flour that I added. It's only about half a cup out of the 3 cups, but I think it will be fine. So I'll just let both of these rise for another 10 minutes, let the oven preheat to 425, and then they'll bake for 7 or 8 minutes before we top them. All right, it's time to top these pizzas. So do half of the barbecue sauce. Half the chicken. Here's a view of the barbecue chicken pizzas, and I can't wait to cut them up and dig in. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.